Okay, I think we can start. Are there any volunteers to be the first one? My traditional question. Raul, maybe you'd like to show us something. You have shown the code coverage progress last time, but that PR wasn't merged. And now it's finally in, and we can actually enjoy the results of that work.
Yeah. Let me share my screen. Could you guys confirm you've seen my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the code coverage can be seen in the README of the repo. Now we have this badge in here that shows the percentage of code that is being covered by unit test. If we click on that badge, the link is going to take us to Coverall's website, where we can see more details and basically a percentage per commit. We can see here, for example, that it was 39.55, and then with another commit, it increased the percentage to 42.56. We can see the amount of code coverage per file, information about the recent builds, as the one I showed before, how has been changed over the time, and that's it. I think that the most important thing about this tool is that give us an idea of how our code is covered with unit tests, so we can create more tickets to basically cover all something and have everything covered with unit test.
Yeah. So now when we see that we have a lot of opportunity to cover our project with unit tests, I would say that unit tests are really welcome to our projects, and just feel free to cover anything you will notice, even if there is no task. If there is a class that you think should be covered with unit tests, such pull requests are welcome. And also, if you are adding a new functionality, new class, that will be really good if the pull request will include test coverage as well, as it will positively affect our project.
That's it. Something I forgot to change is to mention, is that now every time we create a pull request as a part of the tasks that are executed, we have this extra task in here that basically checks that the changes in this pull request are not affecting the coverage of the code. Not sure if that makes sense. So if, for example, we change something and that change breaks any of the unit tests, we're going to immediately see the change, not just by the continuous integration job, but also by the coverage coverall job. That's it.
Thanks. That's really nice. Thank you, Raul. And now let's go to all PRs. Sergey, maybe you would like to be the next one.
Yeah, sure. So let me share my screen. So, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So today I was working with the two issues. It is the first one, it is fixing the issue with not loaded more from this series and more from this model sections. When we using these arrows to switch the preview, so it's already merged. And the second one, I created it just before the meeting, and also I noticed that some tests are failed, so I will proceed with fixing. And for now, this PR is about to provide an ability to switch between the more from this series in previews. For example, here we can like click on one of the series, and we can see the information about this image, and we can also save the preview with this image and save. So also the arrows works for this. Like, but it would be nice to add some class to know what the image is already selected. Actually, that's it. Maybe some questions.
Oh, that's a really nice feature. Thank you. One thing, I created this task when we had only more from the series section. But right now we also have more from this module.
I also thought about it, so I need to add it too, because it's pretty easy.
Yeah. If you can,
okay.
it would be great.
Sure. So I will fix the tests and add the more from this model to this functionality. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay. So let me show. I think one more good big improvement to our project was done by Volodymyr from Matrix, also from Matrix, Vygovsky. He added the locate functionality to the project. So he is not on the call today, but I will share the functionality myself. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Good. So basically, I'm on the cloud instance right now, by the way. Basically, once we save the preview of the image, the Save Preview button will change to Locate button. And by the way, probably I will demo two pull requests right now, two features, because the second feature will appear just once I click on the Save Preview button. That's a bit of redesign of our Save Preview pop-up. So right now we have the extension fixed on the file extension fixed on the right side, and so that user cannot change it. That was done by Shankar Kanar. But returning to the locate functionality. So once we save the image, it is added to their media gallery. The Save Preview button is changed to Locate. And the click on the Locate button will locate the image and select it. Even if I will navigate to another folder that doesn't contain this image, like it should open a proper folder in the media gallery and select the image. And you can see, even if a folder is collapsed or expanded, that functionality also expands folders. So that's it for those two improvements. Any questions on them, about them? Okay. Any other volunteers for to present the contributions or pull requests today? I know that Raul have done the dependency dependency investigation our repository and corrected the dependency, but that was not the functional PR, more like refactoring.
Yeah.
So currently we have the correct all the correct dependencies revealed and specified in Composer.json, and we also have done a couple of changes, like introduced a couple of new interfaces and made sure that everything is correct with dependency. With dependencies, we have it straight. So thank you for this, Raul.
Thank you for you too. Thank you to you too.
Okay, I think we had actually a lot of style fixes and bug fixes, and also we had even MFTF tests contributed, but as contributors are not on the call, we can just mention it. We had 9 pull requests created on MageConf at the end of last week. Not all of them are merged, some are still in progress, but that's a really good result from the MageConf contribution day. The contribution day itself was huge, almost 100 or even more than 100 people participated in contribution days. So contributors of all the projects were there. It was a great contribution day.
I think that is the biggest contribution day so far, isn't it?
Yeah. It looks like it is. And that's amazing. The contribution days are growing. We also work on one pull request to the SDK repository. We are communicating with Christopher about that. There is one issue for us doing pull request to the SDK and that's formatting. The thing is that PHP Storm IDE is trying by default to format and strip all spaces from empty lines. That's why me doing the first pull request and now the contributor, Dmitry, who opened the pull request, also have the same, like trying to fix a couple of lines, and the IDE is automatically reformatting the file. But it appeared that it's not so. The formatting changes should be done in a separate PRs to functional, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess ideally it would be somehow saved in the repository as editor settings. So I'd say if you want to conform to the way your files look, I would say we would need to reformat all of them with a issue ticket, and then also ideally put in some kind of editor config published to the repository so that anyone editing it would have the same files, really regardless of IDE. Because I mean, like, I'm not sure. Like, maybe the editor config. There's an editor config file that might be able to do it, but it's just this comes from the stock team. They don't allow PRs with formatting changes unless it's actually part of the ticket. It's more of a best practice, but they generally frown on that, and it's harder for us to get approvals.
Well, yeah, it's probably also harder to because of every empty line is like the formatting comes across most of the file by default, so it's harder to review as well. So I just want to mention that in case anybody is planning to open pull request SDK repository, just make sure to check the formatting settings so that PHP will not automatically reformat the file.
Yeah, you can check pretty easily. I mean, I all I did was look at the changed files, and I could see all the formatting changes right away. So it was pretty easy to check. So if you've already submitted the file and you look at it and you see a whole bunch of edits, then probably something went wrong.
Yes.
But I think so. Is that Dimitri? I think he may have already fixed this in his PR. I can look at it.
Oh yeah, just now.
He's J Smook. It's hard to know who's who with usernames.
Yes. J Smoke. He is Dmitry. Kaplan, I believe.
Cool.
Yeah.
That looks good. So appreciate that.
Nice. Thank you, Dmitry. If you've seen this recording, looks like while we are on the meeting, Dmitry is doing the hard work and updating the pull requests. Okay, guys. Thank you, everybody, for participation, for contribution, and for presentation. I think the next week we will also have some part of grooming in addition to the pull request demo. So save the date and be sure to visit us next week as well to join us. And yeah, have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Talk to you in a week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.